left his word. He left the Bible. There's nothing that he is going to tell me.
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Good God, good God. And I'm not coming from a religious place when I say that. And I just think the whole conversation is fucking stupid on both sides. And I'm going to tell you why. And I don't care who gets offended. I speak facts over here. I don't care about your personal feelings. And the fact that I see black people crashing out because B. Simone wants to take $1 trillion, like, you are the same Negroes who will take, y'all have the same mindset of money over everything. Let's talk about Sprinkle for a minute before I play the clip and go unhinged. Y'all have more faith in money. Your money is your God. All y'all, if y'all believed in the Most High, why do we go to work every day? And these corporations are our religion. See, over here, I'm not trying to tell you what you can and cannot believe in, but I don't believe in the sky god. I don't believe in the sky god. I believe in my ancestors. I believe in my ancestors, not the raccoons, but I'm talking about my revolutionary ancestors. I don't believe in no religion. I'm not a religious person. And my thing is, I don't want to hear nothing about no structure and all that stuff. When you see when y'all the same people that have a money over everything mindset, look at the fake outrage and how y'all want to talk about Trump. How y'all want to talk about the billionaire class are your gods. White supremacists are your gods, and especially of the billionaire class. Don't y'all see what we see? But because I realize the more conscious and awakened red pill, black pill I get, I sound crazy to most people. And I'm using this, and I'm believing in this before I believe in something I can't prove and taste. That I can't prove and I can't feel, and I've never seen a day in my life before. Black people, this Jesus that the white man and his mama told you don't give a damn about y'all. Okay? And I'm not saying, because we need to stop being so emotional, reactive. Stop reacting emotionally and start having a balance of logic and critical thinking and common sense. Why do y'all hate people who have critical thinking and common sense and don't go off blind emotion? I thought we as men were the most logical. Y'all are attacking this woman, B. Simone. Now, I know, look, we know of B. Simone. We know she said some fucked up shit. She did some jacked up shit. And to me, okay, we're not perfect here. My thing is, if you a public figure, what you say dictates how the world moves, regardless if you like it or not. There's a responsibility that I wish B. Simone would be mindful of. And people like her. So we're going to start from the beginning.
Would you rather have $1 trillion or would you rather have 10 minutes with Jesus? I said I would rather have $1 trillion because I feel like God left his word. He left the Bible. There's nothing that he is going to tell me probably in those 10 minutes that isn't already in his word. And second,
man, I can tell you for a fact that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And as far as the currency, what is backed by currency? So what is backed by Sky God and all this stuff? Y'all people are not doing no research of either. And you're not going to make me pick a side. The only side I'm going to side with is the truth and the facts. And the truth is not here to make you feel good all the time. The truth is a form of empowerment. If you embrace the truth, fuck all this money, materialism, whole vanity, smacks, all this other bullshit that you've been indoctrinated with. by the same people who took the Enoch and gave you this white Jesus. And white Jesus has been beating our ass and terrorizing us and still lynching us, and we still don't get no justice. The whole Jesus concept, the whole God is a white supremacist. Everything's based on the whites, based on what? Let me say this so it don't go over your head. Christianity did not come from us, and they hijacked the term and flipped it. This is why we're the most docile, weak ass people out there. So you can have a man in a home, and a lot of you men I actually proved my point. You niggas ain't logical either. Because B. Simone says something and you don't agree with her, and instead of coming with her with logic and common sense and critical fucking thinking, what do you niggas do? Oh, y'all get emotional. You start trying to highlight fluff and scriptures and bastardized scriptures. Don't you know, we talk about domestic violence, we talk about child abuse, but y'all same Negroes be sparing the rod with the spiritual abuse and provoking your children. Y'all, how can y'all say this is a Christian nation when we believe in war and terrorism and rape and pillage? Rape and pillage, stealing, thieving. This nation didn't do it off of hard work. It used slaves, terrorism, and colonizing, and hating wickedness and divide and conquer amongst the nations of people. And it's very anti-black. So fuck all this shit. B. Simone, the way some of y'all men are coming at, and then you got these pick-me pandering heifers. It's funny how I can't get none of you women to agree with me on anything. Now, there are women who do agree with me, but it's funny how when the stuff that I say, when it comes from me, I get all the resistance, and I'm trying to understand why. I can show y'all research, I can show you information, lead by example. Y'all niggas will still find a fucking way to disagree with me. And if that's not you, obviously you know to shut the fuck up because I ain't talking to you. But hit dogs will holler. So I must be talking about you. You must have been low key. Y'all do the same thing that white folks. Oh, I'm not. I don't care what you're not. What are you doing about it? Oh, I ain't like that. What are you doing about it? Don't tell me what you're not doing and all this stuff. Tell me what you is doing. What you is and are doing. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me?
If you have a relationship with him, he can talk to you now. I truly believe the Holy Spirit is in me and he can talk to you. But Pharaoh's like, no, like, I'm
B. Simone, aren't you the same chick that talked about you don't wash your ass? Aren't you the same chick that talked about having golden showers? Correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't you the same bitch, narcissistic, anti-black misandrist hyena that disrespected the deceased of Dr. Martin Luther King? Now, I don't rock with Dr. King. I respect more than Malcolm, okay? That's my personal opinion. That is not up for debate. Y'all, if we would have followed Malcolm, people like Malcolm X, with his revolutionary approach, we would not be dealing with the bullshit that we're dealing with now. If we would have listened to Marcus Garvey, Dr. Martin Luther King, let me say it, let me start over. If you would have listened to Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. became like Malcolm X, we're going to get our reparations, we're going to get our check, we're going to get our sovereignty, get our land. That's why they unalived him. And for you be so, okay, Martin Luther King did dirt. He did questionable things. And it's funny how white females will stand by the productive of their males. They know their men, the white nationalists, the white activists that keep themselves in an elite position over black people and everybody else, they know their activists are doing dirt. But they don't go openly and they don't go talk bad about their own people like black people do. B. Simone, regardless of what your opinion of Dr. Martin Luther King, because to me he was a whole ass nigga all the time, and he was a tap dancing ass raccoon. He started waking up, and that's why they took him out, because he had the same mindset as Malcolm X. He became Malcolm X. That's why. There's a reason why, and then they show you the Christianized, turn the other cheek version of Dr. Martin Luther King. But they would never acknowledge Malcolm X. Any black activist, any black empowerment, any revolution that they don't acknowledge, those are the ones I respect. Because if white folk love you, that means that's bad for you. If white folks love y'all, that means they don't see you as a threat to overthrowing their system. Okay? We don't even have to have a violent approach. So my thing is, anytime you see a Negro, FBA or not, look how y'all going after Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj ain't a threat to the system. She's just like the, and look how y'all talk about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy. Well, the only thing what y'all don't understand about Puff Daddy is that when Puff Daddy was trying to go after the liquor company because he was being lowball, just like when Monique was underpaid and how y'all turned your back on her, and y'all say she should just take less than, but y'all didn't say that shit to Amy Schumer. It's funny when these white folks feel like they're underpaid, they got millions and billions of dollars. White folks don't say, oh, just settle. Black people, all this shit we're talking about, if we believe in God or money, it's not getting us nowhere. But for B. Simone to shit on black men and bash black men openly, just like every other heifer, every other hyena has done in our community, public figure or everyday, or broke Section 8 hoe, or broke from your Ebony K. Williams, from your B. Simones, and these other females that y'all, Cardi B ain't black. Nicki Minaj is a tether. Cardi B is a tether. But y'all put praise on them until they tell you until they show their true colors. To the everyday black woman, to the regular woman, or the woman who's just in poverty. Y'all got the same jacked up mindset. Okay? B. Simone, you spread some misinformation, and the way you went about it, and to call my doctor, like the way you slandered and disrespected regardless if you didn't agree with Dr. Martin Luther King, and you said a lot of disparaging things openly, that was off code. That was off code, because to me, I would argue, if it wasn't for black men, black women, for y'all black women to have what y'all have, and I'm not trying to minimize, because black women played a part, but it was really black men, because without black men aren't out here leading, y'all wouldn't be in the position to stab us in the back and took welfare and feminism and college and these government jobs, and a lot of y'all been fired from these government jobs. Y'all wouldn't have the welfare system, and for y'all to sign up with the government over the nuclear family. What black men didn't do, didn't hope that we was not, say again, black men, this is what happens when y'all simp, and this is what happens when you try to use morality over money and power and resources. This is what happens when you don't have leverage. And I'm not saying from a toxic, abusive, narcissistic place. I'm talking about when you don't have leverage as a man in the community, not individually, not just your family, but in the community. When you don't have leverage, this is why these women don't respect you or feel like they have to listen, because you're not in a position of power. You cannot morally shame them with the Bible. Hell, you can't even shame them with money because you don't write the laws. Them caves, those white folks do. So pay attention.
You said you wanted to sit with Jesus, right?
Yeah.
Also, I feel like if I was really sitting face to face, excuse me, I'm stuttering because that's what I would do if I was face to face with Jesus, and I would waste my 10 minutes stuttering. Like, this is really crazy. Jesus is in front of me, so it's like at this point, let me just go to my prayer.
Jesus ain't in front of no damn body. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Room and pray, and I don't feel like there's going to be anything that Jesus would tell.
How about you get off? And I'm tired of this prayer thing. I'm not saying you can't have faith in anything, but I'm not saying you can't have faith, but the problem with us as a people, we're not intentional. Other groups don't even do that. Even the most religious of these other races, they put themselves first, second, and third, and fourth, all the way to the end, over other groups. They're unified. But see, the thing, black people want to talk about God, they want to talk about money, but again, and then you got black people who want to talk about, oh, we can sing and dance, we can slam dunk, we can shoot a basketball, we can climb, we got talent, we're physically gifted. Oh, we're so artsy. We can make music. We know how to season. We're the best when it comes to cooking. We know how to season our food the right way. That is not culture. You have to have pride to have a culture, and then you have to have principles. You have to have a belief system. And an identity that's rooted in black pride when it comes to gender, men, when it comes to manhood, rooted in black pride, when it comes to womanhood, rooted in black pride. When it comes to discipline, it has to be rooted off of black pride. We're not doing that part. In general, as a collective, we're not doing that part. So when it comes to the whole when y'all talk about infrastructure, when you talk about coming together, well, you have to have a culture. And your culture can't be about singing and dancing and being the most athletic or knowing how to F good, know how to have smecks real good, be good in bed, the best entertainer and all that stuff, the best, you can speak good, you know how to debate. If you don't have no leverage, no power, it don't mean shit. You can be as woke as you want to be. But what's the point of you knowing something, being all woke, but you're a gatekeeper? Now, you can't reach everybody. Again, culture has to be the foundation. Pride and culture, values, beliefs, and having discipline, principles, merits, and morality. And too many of us have been arguing because under this system, they don't give a fuck about your morality.
In those 10 minutes that he hasn't left in his word.
10 minutes with Jesus can be a lifetime. You never know.
And I know when I die, I'm going to see Jesus. And
man, how the fuck do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that? How the hell do you all know that? But I digress.
I feel like I can tap into that now. I don't need 10 minutes with Jesus. Like, I have that.
Well, how about this? I need at least for y'all to dedicate 10 minutes to decolonize your mind and stop raccooning. And actually have knowledge yourself and be connected. How about you spend them 10 minutes with connecting with your ancestors? Like, why are y'all having a debate over $1 trillion or money? Why are you talking about money of $1 trillion and believing in God or not? It's a stupid conversation. Don't you know what we're dealing with as a people?
Now, am I explaining this right? What would y'all do? Would y'all take the trillion or would y'all do 10 minutes with Jesus? I am taking the trillion and I'm going to my prayer room.
what you gonna do with the trillion? Because money, what is money backed by, B. Simone? Because to me, if you ask me, I'm not telling you to have the 10 minutes of the non-existent sky god that y'all can't identify. And y'all want to quote these scriptures. It don't mean shit. Let me say this. Our God is what we do, believe in, that money. Because if y'all say y'all don't believe in money, but y'all get up and work every day. We all get up and put food on the table. How come we can't grow our own food in our own backyard, man? How come we can't have a public garden? See, I want to drive the point home. The money you're talking about, B. Simone, is backed by us. It's backed by our bodies. Blood is backed by our bodies, our blood, and are backed by our ancestors. Backed by us as people. That's why the dollar is valuable. But even it's being controlled by evil ass wealthy people that's shitting on the working class. And then you can't, because B. Simone, you can't take both. And same with y'all, even if y'all choose your sky god, I'm a Christian, it don't mean shit. It's about power and leverage. The billionaire class don't give a fuck about your morality. They are the gods. They set the rules. Y'all don't. Y'all exist. So when I'm seeing this from black men saying this shit, about this and this, B. Simone ain't gonna listen to you. You don't have no power. And you guys think you can morally shame a woman to act right, or even morally shame children to act right. You are not, I pay their bills. That's what you're supposed to. You're responsible, bruh. It's not out of a place of love. Get the fuck out of here. It's like even in a relationship, you are responsible for each other, yourself mainly, but for each other. My thing is, when it comes to leverage and ownership, and actually, instead of being some type of wicked ass dictator, it's about having people, if y'all played sports, you know what I'm saying? Y'all played in leagues. Y'all had coaches, right? Y'all had coaches. Y'all had your coach that you had different types of coaches. If you play sports, this especially the men, y'all had coaches that would bring out the best of you and bring out the worst in you. We all had coaches. We all had assistant coaches. We all had mentors. Okay? So, my thing is about leverage. It's about giving and rewarding, not punishing and being some type of bully, tyrant, some asshole, or that's just corrupted on a fucking power trip. People who like that are dangerous. Oh, that's called law enforcement. Those are called judges. It's called these politicians that abuse their authority. That bully people with reason, marginalizing people. That's what we're dealing with. But B. Simone, you can't just take the money and just go to the prayer room. You gotta pick. You gotta pick a struggle. You gotta pick the challenge. You gotta pick a challenge.
I don't answer.
No, because seriously, I really hope I'm making sense. What I'm saying is, I can already talk to Jesus now through prayer.
Man, you ain't talk to Jesus. Look how you be cutting the fuck up for the last couple years. Shut your ass up.
But here's how I'm looking at it, right? My perspective.
Okay, come tell your perspective.
Well, chat, do y'all think Simone was wrong? Are you choosing God or the money?
I ain't choosing neither of y'all. I'm choosing my ancestors. I'm choosing because I believe in science. It's like y'all act like you can't. Why do y'all want to try to put people in boxes? I trust science first because it's been proven, it's been researched. So I'm going to choose science first. Critical thinking, common sense, logic. Now remember, you men say on here that men are logical. A lot of you guys are not being logical in this conversation. A lot of you men, even when you disagree, when I disagree with another man and I don't agree, or I don't agree with certain things because a man doesn't agree with you, you get emotional. A lot of black men get emotional, like bitches. It's not to say, and the thing is, we got to acknowledge that men are emotional. And that's not a bad thing. And there's women who are logical. From what I see, is that the women who say, fuck God, they're coming from a different place. Not all of them. But they ain't talking about, oh, we're going to take the white men, the dead presidents, these dead white presidents. They ain't saying that. They're talking about they're choosing their answers. They're choosing science, and they're embracing they're choosing reality, real life, something because they're alive, and they're choosing to be their ancestors are connecting with their roots, then the spiritual shit. But y'all act like that's complicated. That is not hard to do. But y'all are, see, again, until you understand the system and the psychological and mental ass, until you understand the system and institutions of white supremacy, until you understand the social engineering of white supremacy and black self-hatred and how black people have no fucking pride and don't have a culture. We're not talking about setting trends. I'm talking about because when I ask y'all about culture, a lot of y'all really can't answer that question, even though we originate as a culture. So until you understand and acknowledge the institutions, the system and the institutional of white supremacy, the social engineering of the white supremacy, and how we've been terrorized mentally and indoctrinated by force of white supremacy, everything else is going to confuse you until you acknowledge and understand how deep-rooted we have a lack of our cultural identity because it was never built on pride. Until you identify, acknowledge, understand anti-black self-hatred and how black people have a disconnect amongst each other, and everything, and most of this the way we function is just off of blind emotion. That's how you're easily, and we're easily controlled like that. Then we'll never have it figured out. Everything else will confuse you. Like this conversation should not be. We should not be having that conversation. If somebody don't want to believe in God, let them be. If somebody wants to believe in God, let them be. Let people do us. Stop trying to police how people should move, especially when you're not in the position of power and you don't control the economic landscape. You don't control the land. You don't write the laws. You don't set the boundaries, the rules, the regulations, and policies. You don't control the infrastructure. Until you understand that. Because that's what matters. Because let me tell you, black men, this. You can morally shame these heifers and because you're not in a position to hold nobody accountable. You can morally shame the women, the children, but if you're not in a position to run things and I'm talking about running businesses, institutions, writing laws, rewarding people for doing good, and holding people accountable and punishing, but rehabilitating these people to empower them to be better, and if you're not talking about pride, you're talking about unity, and you're not talking about economics, and trust me, the way the money is, it is driven by economics. If you want to choose religion and morals over economics, you ain't saying shit. Because power and leverage matters. And you can't understand this as a man, then we're in trouble. And I see this. This conversation exposed us, not the women this time.